Kicking off our Sunrise Smart Start, heavy snow, brutally cold temperatures, and up to 50 miles per hour wind gusts have been sweeping through western New York.
James has your forecast in a bit. This blowing snow is causing near zero visibility in some areas to our west, not stopping crews from getting out to do their jobs to clear the roads, as this is something they'll be dealing with for several days.
So we've got the two split shifts, 12-hour shifts. So we've got crews in covering for 24 hours. We've got 44 plow trucks ready to go, and we have that scheduled so that they will be out for the 24-hour period. They're aware of the areas that have a lot of blowing that goes across of it, so they know where to get back to when it comes to getting those blow spots taken care of.
Just got to make sure you're kind of keeping an eye on things. Just because it looks clear doesn't mean you might not be driving into something. So just stressing that importance of being aware of your surroundings if you do need to go out.
A travel advisory remains in effect for Erie County as well as Wyoming and Genesee counties, and that will be the case for the time being. No time frame for when it might be lifted.
When the temperature is this cold, the calls for roadside assistance increase. Joel Garcia of Garcia's Towing has seen this firsthand, especially in the past couple of months. He says the majority of these calls are for cars that don't start, frequently a sign of a low charge or dead battery. But there are some steps that people can take at home, like having the gear to jump your car.
So with this, all this does is just send a strong current. We'll put it on the negative, we'll put it on the positive, and pretty much crank the vehicle. This will tell you the voltage, so where the battery is. So you're able to tell if your battery is low from normal, usually between when it's on maybe 14, when it's parked maybe 11 to 12.
You can find a battery jumper at some department stores for as low as $50. Garcia adds the second most reason folks call a tow is when their vehicle hits a patch of ice and slides off the road, something he says good tires can help prevent.
Again, some kids are not going back to class today, with districts calling it off for another snow day. Among them, Batavia City Schools, Lindenville, Central, Medina, Wyoming, just to name some. Those closures, bottom of your screen. Also, we have our school closures page for not just today, but any day. We've got some class canceled due to the weather at rochesterfirst.com. Sunrise traffic here on the west side near the airport, Behan Road, Fairholme Drive. First responders on scene of an accident there. East side 590, 104 the Bay Bridge. Things moving along and very busy there on 490 east and westbound from our Greater Rock Sky Eye.
And going inside the huddle, the search for a new Bills head coach is now officially underway.
The first time in about 10 years they've got to find the next one. Head coach Sean McDermott was fired Monday morning after the overtime loss Saturday to the Broncos in Denver. Bills owner Terry Pegula says the organization needs new structure. McDermott's legacy will be remembered by a big moment in the history of the franchise when he helped to end the playoff drought in 2017.
Sean McDermott's a guy that I have so much respect for. I mean, got the pleasure to play for him in 2017. We've remained friends to this day. I think he does a great job of balancing a relationship with players, but also holding them to a standard of accountability that brings out the best in players. He is the most consistent person I've ever been around in my entire life, with his daily structure that he lives with, that then permeates out into the team, and that's where you've seen this team be extremely consistent over the years.
McDermott, reflecting on his time as Buffalo's head coach, says he appreciates the organization, the players, and the fan base. He shared a statement yesterday saying, "Bills Mafia, you are one of one. I always wanted our teams to play with the same level of toughness and grit. That is true to Buffalo, and you demonstrate that every day." The reaction from some of the players we're seeing on social media. Offensive lineman Deion Dawkins says McDermott is a true leader and truly the best to learn under. McDermott and Dawkins joined the Bills the same year in 2017. Safety DeMar Hamlin shared this online as well. Just a post with broken heart emojis, calling McDermott a true leader of men, and thanked him for everything on and especially off the field with what he dealt with his heart and cardiac arrest. Brandon Beane, he stays on as general manager, even got a promotion. Now has the added title of president of football operations, and he'll be leading the search for the next coach.
The driver killed in a crash on West Ridge Road in Greece over the weekend has been identified as 42-year-old Craig Cavallero. Officers responded early Saturday afternoon to the scene near Elm Grove Road. The investigation into the crash found a car was going west, and as it approached the intersection, it rear-ended another car that was stopped at a red light. Cavallero died at the scene. At last check, the driver and passenger of the car that was struck are still in the hospital, listed in serious condition.
Leaders in Europe are standing united against President Trump's escalating push to take control of Greenland, reiterating at meetings with the EU and Belgium, Greenland is not for sale. Over the weekend, the president announced he would impose tariffs of up to 25% on key NATO allies until an agreement regarding Greenland is reached. EU leadership slammed the move, noting the president's ongoing campaign threatens to upend the security alliance.
The priority here is to engage, not escalate, and avoid the imposition of tariffs. Should the threatened tariffs be imposed, the European Union has tools at its disposal and is prepared to respond.
House Speaker Mike Johnson also talked about this while in London this week. He told the BBC News he does not foresee a military intervention and feels diplomatic channels are the best way to go.
Happening today, Governor Kathy Hochul will present her 2027 fiscal year budget. She's speaking at 1 at the state capitol. Among her priorities this election year, the housing crisis, expanding child care, and improving public safety. We'll bring you updates on air and at rochesterfirst.com.
The warning period for Rochester's school bus safety program is over. So beginning today, if you're caught illegally passing a school bus and they've got the stop arm cameras, you will be facing fines. We'll also hear from Mayor Malik Evans sharing the updated numbers on those who were caught during the 2-month warning period and the next steps for the program. Final forecast there. We'll get some sun with the sunrise this morning.
Nice to see that. Yeah, we had a good amount of clearing out there, and that has allowed for temperatures to be so cold, but we'll take it. Worth it to see that sun. Snow showers coming in not only tonight, but into the next couple of days with that blast of cold.
Yeah, how about that for the weekend? Got a lot to talk about on our Second Cup of Sunrise podcast at 9. I have a big problem with the airport in Orlando.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to share that grievance on the pod this morning.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Usually what we do.
Thanks for watching us this morning. CBS Morning's up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand. Plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.